Remember those iconic Y2K tracksuits splashed across magazines and music videos? They were everywhere, instantly recognizable, often dazzling with sparkle and bold lettering. It might seem like every single one proudly proclaimed its brand with a big, flashy logo, right? Well, surprisingly, no, not every Y2K tracksuit featured a bold logo. While prominent branding was definitely a defining characteristic and incredibly popular, the era's tracksuit trend was actually much broader and more diverse than just shouting out a brand name. The obsession with bold logos stemmed from several factors. Firstly, the early 2000s saw a massive surge in celebrity influence on fashion. Stars like Paris Hilton and Britney Spears were constantly photographed in tracksuits, often those from Juicy Couture, which famously incorporated rhinestone-encrusted brand names on the rear and pant leg. This created an aspirational desire for consumers to wear the exact same items as their favorite icons. Secondly, it was part of a larger casual luxury movement. People wanted to look comfortable yet stylish, and wearing a recognizable designer logo, even on a casual item, signaled a certain status and access to high fashion. It was less about understated elegance and more about overt displays of brand loyalty and an embrace of maximalism in everyday wear. The tracksuit became a canvas for this expressive branding. So, how do you spot a Y2K tracksuit that doesn't rely solely on a giant logo for its era authenticity? It comes down to other distinct design elements. Look for the fabric first and foremost. Velour was king, often in rich, vibrant colors like bubblegum pink, baby blue, or bright red. Next, consider the cut. Tracksuit pants were frequently low-rise and often featured a slight boot cut or flare at the ankle. Jackets were typically cropped or fitted, sometimes with a funnel neck or a small hood. Finally, examine the embellishments. Even without a bold logo, many tracksuits featured intricate rhinestone patterns, delicate embroidery, or contrast piping that screamed early 2000s style. These details, not just logos, helped create the overall iconic aesthetic. An interesting insider detail is that the velour tracksuit itself represented a significant shift from purely athletic wear to a bona fide fashion statement. Before the 2000s, tracksuits were mainly for sports or lounging at home. However, during this decade, they became acceptable and even fashionable, attire for almost any casual outing, from grocery shopping to grabbing coffee. Brands like Juicy Couture, Sean John, and Baby Phat were masters at taking this comfortable silhouette and elevating it with luxurious fabrics and eye-catching details. The integration of shiny embellishments, specifically rhinestones, was a deliberate choice to add a touch of glamour and distinction, turning simple loungewear into a status symbol that everyone wanted to own. Understanding that not all Y2K tracksuits relied on bold logos helps us appreciate the full spectrum of 2000s fashion. It reveals a time when comfort merged with glamour, and personal expression was found not just in overt branding, but also in the luxurious feel of velour, the specific silhouette of a pant leg, or the subtle sparkle of a rhinestone. This broader view allows us to truly recognize and celebrate the diverse stylistic choices that made the Y2K tracksuit an unforgettable part of fashion history, showcasing how an outfit could be both cozy and incredibly chic.